excitement and patriotism all across the country today. We've had tremendous help in the last couple of days from Jerry Hauer, who was with us again this evening. Jerry was the man who helped to set up the Office of Emergency Management for New York City without ever imagining in your wildest dreams that this is what it was going to have to deal with. And Jerry, can we just take some photographs of the scene? Because I think that one of the things that we have not done very well in the last few hours is to give people in other parts of the country a real geographical sense of what is happening down there. And Jerry, I know as you watch this, you keep saying, well, there is the Office of Emergency Management, which I set up and is part of rubble. So as we look down at this staging zone north of the World Trade Towers, where, for example, was the Office of Emergency Management, and where is One Liberty Plaza, which we're so concerned about collapsing at the moment?
Well, there, Peter, at both ends of the operation, the Office of Emergency Management, or 7 World Trade Center, was on the north side. The World Trade Center, the 2 towers sat in the middle, and the Millennium Hotel is to the east of the World Trade Center, and the tower that they're concerned about now, One Liberty Plaza, is just south. Here's, as you can see on that map, the 7 World Trade is the northern part looking up. As you look across to Jersey, One Liberty Plaza is to the south there. The concern now is for One Liberty Plaza. You've got to set the stage by recognizing there's a very aggressive effort going on to try and find people at the site. They had the good fortune this morning of finding some people alive. These people are looking very aggressively for any signs of life, using cameras, using search dogs, listening devices. So they are going to be as aggressive as possible. And you again have to recognize that it's an extremely dangerous operation. They're picking through a lot of steel, a lot of twisted rubble. And now, to compound it, you have the potential danger of an additional collapse.
Can you tell exactly what what we're looking at right now? Do you know this particular structure? I won't blame you if you don't.
I do not. That looks actually like the bridge across the way.
Across West Street.
I think that is the bridge across West Street. And I know from talking to folks today that the goal is to try and clear West Street and to try and clear a path.
Because it's very difficult to operate in this part of town. There is only one really main road, is there not? And that's the West Side Highway, which goes right past between the trade towers and the river. Yeah,
you either have to move debris either going north up the West Side Highway, or you have to move it going south down through the Battery Tunnel or around the tip of Manhattan. It's a little easier right now because all of lower Manhattan is shut down, so they're giving priority to the heavy equipment, to the dump trucks. The city has done an incredible job at staging equipment on Houston Street, which is north of the World Trade Center. And when one dump truck is filled, another one's in there. There is not a moment of downtime. They are moving very quickly to get as much debris out as possible. And at the same time, these rescue teams are operating in this dangerous environment trying to find people.
Now, just for people in other parts of the country, remind them how close this is actually to Wall Street.
Well, this is literally the Millennium Hotel. If it were to fall to the east or fall away from the Trade Center, could in fact hit Wall Street. The debris could hit Wall Street, depending on which way it's leaning. And my understanding is it's leaning in towards the Trade Center. Again, it's about a 25-story building. Wall Street is a block away, right on the other side of Broadway.
Now, there are a huge number of ambulances waiting all the time as part of the search and hopefully rescue operation. One Liberty Plaza and these other buildings in the immediate area have been evacuated.
Absolutely.
So there's nobody in One Liberty Plaza. What are it's the consequences of it falling on top of other debris, which is what causes you so much concern?
Sure. There's a couple of concerns. One, you have people operating underneath, trying to do rescues, trying to find victims, and you really have to be careful with your rescue operation and not put people in the collapse zone We've already lost over 200 very, very brave people who were in the buildings trying to save lives and lost their lives in the process. You want to do everything humanly possible not to let that happen again. So you have to establish a collapse zone around these buildings that are in danger of collapsing.
In other words, you can only search as long as the searchers are in a safe position and are able to search.
Right.
We're joined